Of course they're going to push alcohol. Of course you're going to see Budweiser commercials. You're going to see Bud Light commercials. You're going to see Modelo commercials. I mean, this is all part of it. The alcohol, that's just one part of
Yes,
it. The pharmaceuticals are a whole nother game because
absolutely.
every other commercial on television is pharmaceutical stuff. Oh,
100%.
and then half the commercial is talking about side effects
Right, right.
with pleasant sounding classical music with people with smiles on their faces. You
Yeah,
know, I just we are in zombie land right now. This is it.
yeah, yeah.
I don't think we have to wait for it, bro.
There's
I
no
think we're
question.
there. I
There's
think
no
we're there. I
question.
mean, how many people do you talk to that just look at you like a deer in headlights? I talk to doctors, okay? Doctors. Some come on my show that are very bright and know what they're talking about, but for the most part, most of them, when you start talking about this, they look at you like, I was just in the hospital with my dad. I go, I think I know why he's having seizures. He got this.
Yes,
And they look at me like I'm an alien,
yes.
like as if I just came from another planet, and they're looking at me like, how could he talk about against the medical industry like this? What
Yes.
gives him that authority? And I guess he's a conspiracy theorist. I'm like, no, you're a fucking idiot. Sorry,
Yeah.
that's just the way
Well,
that you're. I have no respect for you.
this is what we're dealing with. These
And
people
these are
have been
doctors,
brainwashed.
supposedly people you're supposed to put on a pedestal and say, you know what? I trust you with my life, with my
Well,
health. And I can't.
the machines that I own down in Cape Canaveral, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Why
I have
a
one
guy
here.
like me? Why a guy like me? I'm an ex-pizza guy. I love making pizzas. I got to the top of my game. I had people standing in line an hour and 20 minutes to get 2 slices of pizza. I built many places, made a lot of money, spent a lot of money, chased every mini skirt, and I'm not bragging about it because I'm ashamed that you
Chase him
shouldn't do
with
that.
pizza.
Right. You
So
know?
you were that guy delivering pizza.
Yeah. But before we get started, folks, make sure you hit the pause button. Okay, go down below. There's a Rumble link. Go over to Rumble and follow us over there. QFS1776.com is without question the holy grail of what's to come. Okay, t-shirts. You got to get yourself decorated. This way, people will ask you, what is XRP? What is the quantum financial system? What is this? What is that? And you send them where? To QFS1776.com, where they need to immerse themselves, because we're going to burn down this system down to the ground. And out of the ashes will rise the phoenix. There'll be nothing to go back to. Believe me when I tell you that. Unified TV will take over Netflix. We're bringing in the next genre of movie producers and storytellers and actors and actresses. And we're telling the story of how the world is going to be on earth as it is in heaven. Jasara Nasara is coming. Don't make no mistake about it. Gold and silver right down below. Promo code Mel Carmine. Make sure you use the promo code. Almost $8 billion in sales. We're direct to like a bunch of mints. We are the ones that can get you the gold and silver directly to your door, okay, at the cheapest price. Don't even waste your time looking for a cheaper price. It doesn't exist. Also, our Telegram groups down below. If you want to learn what's coming and you're sort of a little scared, I understand. Believe me, I was there too at one point. Our Patriots are literally waiting for you in the room. And if you need more than $10,000 worth of XRP or $1 million worth of XRP, you come see me. Send me an email at QFS1776@gmail, and we'll get you as much as you want.
What's up, folks? Welcome to Nino's Corner.tv. I am with Mel Carmine, the white Morpheus. Is it Morpheus or Morpheus? Like
Something like that. I don't know, bro.
From the
How you doing?
Matrix. Anyway, folks, no, it's a lot of people would say like your viewpoints on a lot of stuff are way out there, but I do agree with you on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I've talked to enough people to know that a lot of stuff we consider science fiction is actually real.
Yeah.
And I've seen some stuff for myself that I can't deny. So I guess what we'll be talking about today are alleged hidden technologies. Is cloning even real? I mean, that's the question I have. Isn't even a real thing. I kind of know where the conspiracy was birthed. It was a few years back where they came up with the clonate thing, and but I'm going to be honest with you. I've talked to a lot of people that have told me that I feel very credible in the entertainment industry that it's real. But before we get into that, folks, and I'm going to talk to Mel about this because Mel is immersed in this stuff. This is like your specialty, right? the
Well,
cloning.
I've been, I was like you. I challenged somebody a long time ago, and they said, Mel, cloning's existed since 1962. If you want the 19,000 page document from which has already been unredacted, I'll be more than happy to send it to you. Now, I don't know about
Let's
you.
talk about this because
Yeah,
I'm very. I've always wanted to dive deep in this because we're hearing a lot about it now with
yeah,
celebrities, and if they don't play by the rules, if they don't play by the cult's rules, they get bye bye, and something happens, and then next thing you know, you got someone else impersonating them that doesn't look anything like them. Folks,
exactly.
get your noble gold. Get your noble gold. Gold has gone up more than 81% in the last 5 years. It is happening. Central banks are ditching the dollar, and U.S. Treasuries and buying more gold. The good news, it's predicted to go up even more, folks. UBS even said it would go up to 5,000. That's ridiculous. Noble Gold Investments phone has been ringing off the hook. Everyone wants to protect their retirement with gold. You can do the same. And if you do it this month, Noble Gold Investments will give you a free 1/4 ounce gold standard coin. If you open up a qualified account, go to noblegoldinvestments.com now. Noblegoldinvestments.com right now, folks. Get started. Mel, this is a subject to me that I know there's a lot of hidden talents, hidden technologies out there. I know this all exists, um, but the cloning stuff is just so hard for me to wrap my mind around. Although I see people that are acting different, look different, they just don't seem like the same person. And Jim Brewer did a show talking about, and I've talked to Jim Brewer talking about Dave Chappelle.
Mm.
He's like, I don't know who that is, but that's not Dave. I don't know. I mean, that guy was really close to Dave Chappelle. I just think people age and they just look different when they age. Maybe put
Yeah.
on weight. I mean, when I put on weight, I look like a completely different person.
Yeah, but your earlobes aren't going to change, and your birthmarks aren't going to change. Your lips and your teeth are not going to change. See, we could pick out anomalies, for example, with Mr. B, Biden, okay, that are
Be careful with
undeniable.
that.
You don't
Be
have to,
careful with that one.
yeah,
Let's not
you
even
don't
talk
have
about
to
him.
be, yeah,
Yeah.
you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out that there are some anomalies that you cannot sweep underneath the rug and say this guy and this guy are the same guy. No, it doesn't exist. You see, the anomalies are so in your face that if you're willing to look and dig and really pay close attention, you got to be focused when you do this stuff. And you got to do a side by side comparison. Okay, earlobes different, mouth different, lips different, teeth different, birthmark, no birthmark. This guy's righty, the other guy's lefty. You understand? You start
Yeah.
to you start to come up with a conclusion that points to the fact that we're in a movie.
But do you think maybe they could be just actors, bro? Do you think like maybe they could be? I mean, that's a possibility. I'm not saying clones, but could they be just an actor that
It,
looks just like? Because the hold on, let me finish it because I got a
sure.
good point here in my mind.
Yeah.
They use uh face identification, right? So, well, I've heard that they use that, and when they find someone that matches almost identical to somebody else, they go to their house, knock on the door, and say, "We need you for something." Men in black suits show up and say, "You're going to be used for something," and you don't really have a say in it, and all because of the face reading technology, face identification that we're all under now with cameras everywhere. I mean, I've heard that that's what they do, that they go to people's doors and say, you look a lot like this person that we're going to have to use you
Yeah.
for something, and you're going to have to serve your country.
Yeah. Well, listen, look, let me answer that this way. Maybe even a clone needs a little bit of rest, so they have more than one clones, and they have
Yeah.
maybe a couple of actors to fill in on weekends. Okay, so these guys can have a weekend off. I don't know. We're in a movie that's so complicated. That's why when people come into our movie theater, they literally short circuit because they don't have the brain power because they've been clogged down by the glyphosates and the pineal gland is so clouded by all the chemicals that you've been eating all this garbage. You don't even know. You don't even know how to pronounce the words that are on some of these packages. But yet we
Yeah.
take this stuff and we put it in our mouth, and then everybody's walking around like zombies. Say, how did we get here?
Yeah.
Really? How did we get here? You walk around, it looks like we're getting ready to have an apocalypse with a bunch of zombies because that's what I
Yeah.
see.
I
I go
think
to
we're already
Walmart,
there, bro.
I
I
go
think
to
we're already there.
Kmart, kids that are autistic, the families all
Be
out of
careful.
shape.
Just do
All,
this. I know you're
yeah,
getting
yeah,
ready to
no,
go for
no, no,
no.
no, no. I'm
Hold
not
on,
doing
man.
that.
Be
I'm not doing
safe.
that. No,
All
no,
right.
no. All out of shape. You look at them. You're looking at an empty soul. You look at them. You see that you're looking at somebody that nobody's home.
Yeah. The light
They're
bulb is
having
dim.
They're having conversations that make absolutely zero sense. Okay. Look, there's somebody controlling every aspect of our life, Nino, whether you like to believe that or not. It is true. It
I
is as
believe it.
true. It is as true as the shirt you're wearing, the hat you're wearing right now. It's as true as whatever you want to compare it to. I had to go to Vegas to an XRP convention. I was chatting with you while I was on that trip. You were thinking about going to see the Camilo fight,
Yeah.
which Camilo, I understand, won. I guess you're a fan
I
of
called
Camilo.
it just the way it came out, man.
But not to get off track, right? I had to go and take a shower, jump in my car, drive 45 minutes to the airport, go to the fast parking lot, park my car, get in a shuttle. The shuttle takes me to the airport, get to the airport. My wife had all the check-in tickets. She's really smart with technology. I had all my already pre-boarding passes on my phone and everything. Boom, we go in, take my belt off and get into a bird, right? Or an airplane that resembles a bird that's made out of metal with a bunch of gadgets on it. Think about that for 1 second. And I know for a fact, because I've had people that come to our center, Staying Alive in Cape Canaveral, and the reality is they've shown me photos of triangular crafts hovering right over Cape Canaveral because there's a vortex there. I'm talking photos that would not a dancing light in the sky, guys. I'm talking, you can see structured craft, okay? And these things can fly at Mach 17. Mach 117. They can go very, very fast. So, and these things have been seen thousands and thousands of times, documented thousands and thousands of times. So they have the technology, and I believe it's ours. So I should be able to get into my car.
You believe it's government technology?
No question about it. I believe they reversed engineered it by a guy, a very famous inventor by the name of John Searle, Searl. Okay. John Searle was a brilliant inventor who invented free energy technology. And I believe that technology was reversed engineered by our government because they have the means to be able to do that. They got the smart people, they got the money, they could print at will, right? So they have an infinity, right? So the reality is that, we've had this technology. So I should be able to get in my car. Let's say if I was the only one that was privy to have the technology because I'm connected to somebody, whatever. I'm just going to compare just apples to oranges just for 1 second, just to drive the point home. You could get into your bird that's made out of metal and it takes you an hour to get to the airport and do all that jazz. And by the time you take your belt off, I could go into my garage. Let's say I have the technology. I could jump into my flying machine. I can go to Malaysia. I can have dinner. I can come back and be in digestive mode. And you're still taking your belt and your shoes off at the airport. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
We have the technology.
I don't see how our physical bodies though can go through that kind of pressure and stress. You know what I mean?
I'm glad you went there.
Because, well, think about this for a second. I mean, space travel itself is hard on the body. I mean, going at G-force levels, you see pilots that have to go to school for this and their face goes, they black out. How are you going to go Mach 17? How is the human body going to go Mach 17?
They have the technology we're talking about is so advanced, is so way over my head, and I'm just an ex-pizza guy. What the hell do I know? I don't know anything, right? Yeah. The reality is that they have technology inside these crafts that you and I could be drinking a latte, and we can go from 0 to 57,000 miles an hour in like 0.02 seconds. And you and I, the coffee or the whatever it is you're drinking, I'm drinking chai tea, by the way, right? The won't even do this. You see that right there? Won't even move. Because it cancels out all inertia.
I've thought about this, and I thought if it's going that fast, I think it's flown by maybe almost like a drone or like consciousness, right? Like it's they're interdimensional, and it's flown by consciousness. The only thing to me faster than light is thought, consciousness.
Absolutely. And that's just another evolution of where we're going. But we have to graduate, and the only thing that's holding us back is the normies, the people who are refused to wake up because the movie is so darn.
But they're on their way out, bro. I mean, I think that's what this whole. And let's just talk about this for a second because I think that this whole process is this whole awakening process is kind of like the shedding of the normies because I think they're not going to make it. I think we're going to coexist for a while, and then they're just going to go because. I mean, if I go to when I go to the grocery store and I still see people wearing a face diaper and I still see people that are just walking in a slumber, they've been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these, even just one. The light bulb gets dimmer and dimmer and dimmer. But when you're and if you look at the children, the baby, like you were talking about, the children, babies, they just look like the light went dim. They don't look like babies did even 10 years ago, 15 years ago when they had light.
Absolutely.
They had the lights on there. They were curious. They look like they're in a slumber. I saw a kid that was 1.5 years old and he was just still drooling. I'm like, the kid should be at least saying something.
Yes. How did we get here? That's the question. How did we get here? It was deliberate. It was by design. It was intentional. That's how we got here. Somebody upstairs.
100%.
Okay.
Evil.
Yeah, absolute evil. So let me go backwards. We'll do the thing sort of like Pulp Fiction, as I like to say. Then you got to piece the movie in your head. To answer your question about the speed of these crafts, you and I, you go from 0 to 57,000 miles an hour or 157,000 miles an hour, which means you can go anywhere you want in minutes, anywhere on the planet, and stop on a dime and not feel anything. Okay? You would be splattered against the walls of that craft, and so would I, like a mosquito. So the technology is so advanced. It's so far beyond what we can comprehend. And maybe the initial crafts that are going to come out, Nino, are you going to be able to punch in sort of like a GPS? You want to go there. People say, Mel, what are you, crazy? People are getting into accidents. You're going to give them a flying machine. There's going to be accidents. And well, no.
Well, why do you even need, if you're talking about this technology, why do you even need a flying machine? What if it's something like Star Trek? You just go into a beam and you're at your transport. What about transporting?
You're going fifth dimensional. You're going sixth dimensional. You're going way beyond fifth. We have
that to me is actually more believable than getting in a craft and going Mach 17 and stopping right away. I think the human body can't take that. What I think is, I think transporting is probably more realistic.
And we will get there as well. But how do you tell people, for example, Saddam Hussein, people think we were there just for the oil? Yes, that was a major reason why we were there. But, Saddam Hussein, a lot of people don't know the inside baseball. I do, because I do follow people like Dan Burish and Project Camelot and so on, and some of the most compelling interviews ever. Okay, Kerry Cassidy, early stages, and some of those videos still exist. I mean, were mind-boggling. She didn't get to 375,000 followers on YouTube and get shut down by chance. She had the who's who of the who's who of the who's who when it comes to this kind of materials. People that are so believable, people that were there.
I remember that's when it was when she was off the hook. Like it was like, that was 10 years ago, 15 years ago when she was just just making the waves in the movement. She was huge.
Yeah, she was massive. And I ask everybody out there, if you want to understand why we are the way we are, we sound like we're so educated on what's coming. Okay. And by the way, not to get off track, again, Pulp Fiction. Okay. We have the executive order that proves beyond a shadow of a doubt. Executive order 13849. 13849. Executive order 13849 proves beyond the shadow of a doubt that Nasara Jassara is here. It's been signed into law. We're waiting for a certain individual to get back. And he's going to unleash hell on earth in a great way. That's why they don't want this dude to come back. I'm not mentioning names. I want to keep it clean for your channel. Okay. The reality is he's the biggest FU card you can possibly imagine. He doesn't want to give you a flying car, dude. He wants to give you a flying condominium. What happens to the people? What happens to the people that fix the roads and the bridges and the traffic lights? They go bye-bye. What happens to the people that work for the airlines? Every aspect of the airline business, gone. What happens to Airbnb? What happens to Hotel.com? It's the biggest disruption you'll ever see, and it's coming, and the only guy that can deliver it is that guy. But what's most important is what comes after him is even more important than him.
Right. So like right now we're in this what I like to call the exposing process, the red pill process, where everything's just going to be really hard, especially this year. But once that clears up, and unfortunately, and there's going to be a lot of casualties from what I understand. There's like a lot of casualties, a lot of people that just don't make it. But that's what it's going to be like, the dinosaurs dying off, like the normies or what I call the sleepwalkers, the people that did this, that got that,
right.
They're going to
I don't even do that gesture, bro. I don't even do that gesture if I was you. Call it the medical procedure that a lot of us didn't want to take.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of medical procedures they can't, you're sort of being vague, but the community knows what you're talking about. Don't even make that gesture.
So what I'm saying is, once we get through that, it will be, I believe, I'm on the same page as you. That's what I wanted to talk to you about today. It's going to be unbelievable times for humanity.
Sure. We're talking about free energy technology, because if these things can go from point A to point B, and you can go from Miami to Manila in 17 minutes if you want to take the scenic route, okay, and come back in 17 minutes if you want to take the scenic route on the return trip, okay, and it makes no noise, it has no pollution. These things don't pull up to an Exxon gas station in the sky and you fill up and you keep going. These things run on 0-point energy technology that most of us, including the pizza guy, don't understand.
Yeah.
I had a friend of mine that worked at Area 51, and he put me on the phone with Robert Lazar 30 years ago or more, 32 years ago. Okay. When that whole entire thing went down. Remember, he was all over the tabloid TV and all of that.
Yeah.
I ended up
Bob
in
Lazar. Are you
Surfside.
talking about Bob Lazar? Yeah.
Bob Lazar. Yeah, Bob Lazar. And I ended up in I don't even know if Bob Lazar even remembers that 2-minute conversation I had with him. But he had to prove it to me that he was there. Long story short, I ended up in Surfside, Florida. I meet a guy by the name of Robert Koch. He's a way underground. He doesn't have a YouTube channel. Didn't even bother looking for him. He's like a ghost. He doesn't exist. And he got to liking me because a lot of people like the pizza guy. Let's put it that way. Okay. And I can tell you that within a couple of weeks, he started to get sort of intimate with me and let me know some inside knowledge, because we were on the same page on a lot of stuff. And he said, Mel, and this particular year, 1 year, forget what year it was, he said, they put in a criteria inside this massive computer that they had. This is not the kind of computers you go buy at Best Buys. Okay. The Army and the Navy, and they all have it. And the criteria was very, very specific on what they wanted. And the computer spit out 5 names. One happened to be Robert Koch, Robert Lazar, and 3 other guys that are also ghosts who nobody knows even what their names are. And Robert said to me, they were looking for people to do reverse engineering on what do you call it? The propulsion system. Okay. And when they got to Area 51 S4, they saw these things levitating with no noise off the ground, and there's no, things that are holding them up or whatever. They're just literally levitating off the freaking ground. And they said, oh, this is not a big deal. This is American. We have it. It's ours. Until they had to get inside the craft. And they realized that these chairs, unlike my chair, which is a very big chair, were not made for human consumption.
Right.
Made for guys that are 3 foot 2 inches tall.
Exactly. And and I've heard that their bodies are like almost like Android. They're
Correct.
EBs.
Correct.
What does EB stand for? Biological entity.
It's got to do with something like they're plant-based.
Right. Plant-based,
Yes.
but they're also not really or there's organic to them, but they are actually like an android, like a robot. So their body can withstand that inertia, that G-force or whatever they're going through, correct?
Correct.
And if you look at them, if you ever see any of the videos or firsthand accounts of these things, they're very frail looking, they're small, they're almost translucent.
Yeah.
I just have a hard time believing that our
listen. Can I come out of the closet on your show? Do I look like the kind of guy that got abducted by UFOs? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Do I look like I look like a cuckoo bird? now I know
I
he's
think you might be an alien.
Now I know he's effing with me. See, but the reality is this, bro. I'll tell you a story that I just told at the conference privately to a few people, and they were like, "Holy moly!" And it's a story that needs to be told, and I think no better show than yours.
Okay.
Year 2000, I had a pizza shop, my last pizza shop, down on Washington Street in South Beach, Florida. And I was living in a building called the Carlton Terrace in Bell Harbor, Florida, right near the government cut. Then I moved next door. Long story. Anyway, it was hip hop weekend and music. It was MTV Music Awards. Everybody, all Latino, black people, white people, Greek people, all colors came descended down on South Beach. It was so busy, we made like $18,000 in one day selling slices of pizza. If you can imagine that. Okay, 18,000. And I remember it was like about 1 o'clock in the morning, and this this dude that looked like, one of the hoodlum kind of guys, pulls out a wad of cash round, right? They like to keep their money round for some reason, right? And he says, listen, I love your pizza. I just had a couple of slices. I want you to go inside. Here's $100 bill. Get me 2 of your favorite slices. Give me 2 drinks, and you keep the change. So I went in. Boom. That was my last thing that I did that day. And then I went home to the Carlton Terrace, right on A1A, with my ex-wife now, my first wife, Argentine. And I said to her, listen, I smell like pizza. I'm sweaty. It's disgusting. I said, I want to go jump in the ocean. She says, I'll come with you. Right? So we go in the ocean, and all of a sudden we have a structured craft. I'm not talking about a dancing light in the sky, guys. I'm talking a structured craft. And I always wear one of these waterproof watches for some crazy reason. I've always been in love with them, these G-Shock things, right?
Yeah. Those are cool watches, actually.
Yeah. So, man, all of a sudden she says, what is that? It's like, what's a spacecraft? It's a flying saucer. No, not a big deal. I was down the rabbit hole at this point. Didn't phase me.
Right.
Scared nothing. But there's only one problem. There's about an hour, 20 minutes of missing time when I got back in the water. I'm like, what the hell just happened? I got strange markings in strange places that you can imagine. Not even seconds after this thing left a streak of light that we can't even find on our color chart.
You saw it leave.
Oh, yeah. Me and my wife at the time. And this thing blazed across from Miami to Malaysia in seconds. I mean, this thing was gonzo. I mean, 100 million times faster than a bullet can leave a rifle barrel, right? Literally that fast. Within seconds, there's 20 or 25 F-18s, F-16s, Hornets trying to chase whatever that thing was because they painted it on their radar, right? Now, fast forward, I'm in Costa Rica, right? I get deathly ill during that flu season that we don't want to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay. When my business went from being a hero to being a zero, literally overnight in 1 second.
Yeah. That happened to a lot of people.
Right. Exactly. Because I was in the call center business with energy deregulation, and you can't be in 6 feet close and all that bullshit. Anyway, shut down. Literally out of business. I was living on savings. So anyway, what happened was that this thing leaves. You get the jet crafts flying after it, right? Fast forward, we go into Costa Rica because I met this beautiful woman, Amber, and we decided to settle there for 11 years. Now we're back here in Florida, but I got deathly ill one day, bro. And I mean, I was literally telling Amber, do not take me to the hospital because what was going on at the hospital, you guys can sort of connect the dots. Okay. And I says, if I'm going to die, I'm going to die at home. Okay. And I was ready to make a will. No bullshit. I was that sick. And I've gotten sick there like 5 or 6 times.
This was in Costa Rica.
In Costa Rica. Some of the worst, the health department doesn't visit some of these restaurants on a regular basis, and they should.
Yeah.
If you are a well-known podcaster with an international audience, listen up. Our healing center, stayingalive.com in Cape Canaveral, was also created for hosting events. We've had several successful venues at our location already, which holds between 200 and 600 people. Our location boasts a professional stage, sound system, lighting, microphones, remote control, high-end definition cameras for international live streaming, and much more. If you're interested in meeting your fan base in person at our location, plus give your audience the benefit of healing through our scalar wave technology, please contact our office immediately at 321-503-1670. And our staff will make sure that they will set up an appointment for you to speak directly with me, Mel Carmel. Be very careful if you eat outside in Costa Rica. But anyway, needless to say, this guy comes because I call my friend, my friend Dimitri. I said, bro, I got a problem. I'm sick. I think I'm going to die. Seriously. Russian friend of mine that lives there. I said, he said, don't worry about it. I'm going to send the guy with a rife machine. And this guy came with like the industrial magnets. And if you don't know exactly how to place these magnets all over the body, you can actually hurt somebody indefinitely. So I trusted this guy with my life. And literally. I'm sitting there on a table. This like massage type kind of table. And he's got me hooked up to this rife machine, spooky. Okay. This guy's got the Godzilla, the Rolls Royce model. And he says to my wife, he says, your husband's got a couple of chips in his left arm. Would you like me to deactivate them? And I got chills. I'm getting chills right now. True story. Okay. And she said yes, because she knew the story. And I've been telling her I've been being tracked. I've seen so many anomalies. Another time, I'm sitting in the balcony of my friend Scapini, Andrea Scapini, in
So you're
Sunny
saying
Isles,
that
Florida.
you believe is this whatever this craft was, you lost track of time, and you feel like you were abducted and they chipped you.
Oh yeah, absolutely, no question about it. And I had some strange markings in strange places, and a lot of people always ask me, "Mel, do you have kids?" I says, "I believe I do." Which is, what do you mean you believe you do?
Was
I
your
says,
ass
"I believe I have kids that live in outer space," and then I proceed to tell them the story.
was your ass sore?
My ass wasn't sore. You're so funny, bro. I love it. Yeah. So, but
Were you walking with
anyway,
a limp?
yeah, no, I was not. But I did have some strange markings, some strange places. But now let's go backwards in the story. Before I got sick with the food poisoning, where I was still chipped, right? All these things are following me around, and I don't know why. Obviously, because I'm chipped. It's pretty obvious, right? Right. So one day we're sitting in my friend Andrea Scapini's balcony, 36th floor. I'm talking, penthouse apartment, multi-million dollar, very rich guy. And I'm sitting in his balcony with me, him, and my wife. And my wife says, "Holy shit." And she pointing to the sky, literally thousands of lights, lit up for about 15, 20 seconds. And then they all disappeared. A flotilla of these things.
That happened to me.
That happened to you. Okay. Yeah. So this is all real stuff.
I've seen it with my own eyes. It happened to me.
Yeah.
You know when that happened for me was before I made that viral video, right? In 2020, when I did that video about the children and all that. Before I did that, a week before, I saw massive constellation. It looked like constellations and designs of lights in the sky outside of White Sands, New Mexico, going up to Ruidoso, and they would appear and then disappear, and come back in different formations. And they were like colors I've never seen, like just beautiful arrays of these lights that would just appear in the sky and then disappear and every time I pulled out my phone, boom, they were gone.
Right.
Boom, they were just like, they knew consciously I was looking at them.
Exactly. And you could do stuff with lasers. That's pretty cool. If you have a really strong, powerful laser, you could summons these guys to come and visit you.
I mean, that's what Greer does, right? I mean, Stephen
Greer does that. Yeah.
I mean, I've heard he goes out to the desert and they meditate.
Yeah.
They meditate and summon them, right?
Exactly. Yeah. But
so I guess what you're saying here is that the technology is so advanced and it's here. It's already here. And that's just what you're trying to portray to my audience, is that we already got it. It's already here. We're using it.
Yeah. My thing is, bro, don't try and figure it out. You don't know how your car works, but yet you get in it, you put the keys in it, and you go. Right? Well, now you're trying to fucking become a scientist. I'm sorry for saying
Makes sense.
You got to bleep that out. Okay. You're going to try to, you can't even figure out your own damn engine on your car and how that works. And now you want to know everything about people that come from 500 million light years and they can get here in 45 minutes with their best craft, like my friend Alex Collier, who I just interviewed. And by the way, the thing was freaking climbing 43,000 hits in 3 days. Boom, they stopped it at 43,000. It can't go past 43,000 because somebody is controlling every aspect of our life. Nino Rodriguez should be allowed to grow to his fullest potential. Mel Carmine should be allowed to grow to his fullest potential, but we are under control. Everything we eat, everything we do, everything. You drive the car too fast, boom, you get a speeding ticket. It's a form of taxation. No. Tax you to death. That's why we need a flat tax. That's why we need an SR. That's why we need a new monetary system, XRP. It's coming. You can't stop what's coming. It's coming.
But
you either embrace it.
But we have to go through this grueling, horrible process in which they're trying to tighten up for more control when they're actually losing control. So, in other words, everything that we're going through right now, humanity, is them by them tightening their grip and making things worse and worse and worse for us. It's them losing their grip, actually. It's them losing control.
They are running for their lives. They're wounded mortally, but they have one thing going for them. It's called our money. They got our money because we've been paying into the system. And all you guys that are still paying into the system, shame on you. You know why? Because if you want the monster to die, stop feeding the monster. See, if we all stood up tomorrow, Nino, and said, that's it, we're not paying our mortgages. We're not paying our student loans. We're not paying our college loan. We're not paying anything. We're not paying our car loans because everything was sold to us fraudulently, right? What are they going to do? Put 8 billion people in prison? I don't think so. The system will collapse like that. Isn't that what we want? We want the system to collapse.
Why? I think it's happening. I think it's already happening. I think we have to go about it to coordinate that type of organized rebellion is obviously can't happen. But the way it's happening now, through exposing, I think we're on our way. I think we are on our way to a new system.
Yeah,
but we're in the dead cat roll, the dead cat bounce right now with the old system.
Yeah, we definitely are. There's no question about it. Look, they're controlling, like I said, every aspect of our life, the health, the movement, the taxes. I mean, we're being taxed to death. You realize that everywhere you move, someone's got their hand in your pocket?
Yeah.
Do you realize that? Everywhere you move.
Oh, it's horrible.
You can't move. Everybody, tax. We need a flat tax that no one can ever, I don't care how connected you are. I don't care if your father is that guy. I don't care if you're connected to the Pope. I don't care if you're you're affiliated with Nino Rodriguez. It doesn't matter who you're connected with. You're going to have to pay your fair share. Everybody has to pay. And with a flat tax, getting rid of capital gains, getting rid of property taxes, and getting rid of income taxes, which are illegal, and the IRS is registered in Puerto Rico. The IRS is registered in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, look it up. And if you move to Puerto Rico, you pay no taxes.
You go figure that out. Yeah. It's a mafia organization, just like the SEC, who sued Ripple. It's a mafia organization that was granted a license to screw with the American people and their incomes and keep you stressed and keep you, where you have a full-time job and a part-time job and the kids' soccer and the little girls got to go to ballet school. They got you on the treadmill so that you can't see straight. You don't have the time, a lot of you, to pay attention. And I feel sorry for you. I truly feel sorry for these people because you know what? The two most important things you'll need to do is pay attention to your health first and foremost, because this is the vehicle that's going to get you to where you want to go. And if this vehicle breaks down, you're screwed. You're not getting there. Okay. So that's the first thing. Second thing, follow the money. We're in the middle of the biggest facelift, the biggest transfer of wealth. I have people going into Chase Bank. I have people going into Bank of America, all these different, the top 3, top 4 banks. And they're talking to the wealth managers, the top echelon of the wealth managers say, we're ready. We got to wait for a certain individual to leave the White House. No one is going to get rich under this guy. Imagine you and I become billionaires or multi-billionaires under this regime. It doesn't even sound right, Nino.
No, not. But he's here to bring down the old structure. Basically, we're letting them go ahead. It's like they're in the sandbox creating a mess. We have the outside perimeters covered. We're letting him create that mess. We're letting him cause the chaos so that we can come back and rebuild.
Well, there's gonna be a lot of
the old structure has to come down some way, Mel.
It has to come down, but this controlled demolition is hurting a lot of people. A lot of people just don't have. That's why I keep looking feverishly for opportunities that people can make some money with so that they can, breathe. I always say, yes, you want to invest in the NARS and the XRP and the ZIMs and the XLMs, all that stuff. It's wonderful. And we know that our day is going to come. It's inevitable at this point. You got to be blind, deaf, and stupid not to be able to see the writing on the wall, right? However, stay in positive cash flow, stay in positive health, and act as if it's never going to happen. Don't even look at it. Just keep going on with your life as if. And when they call and we get our number is called and we get to have our day in the sun, you'll know. Because this is going to be the biggest, there's going to be potentially, I'd say 20 million new multi-billionaires, 20 million. People say, oh, nobody's going to go to work. No, that's only 20 million. We have 8 billion. Somebody's got to go to work. Maybe they'll be working for us, but they got to go to work. But the reason why this dude is so cool and calm as a cucumber, this dude right here, right, is because when they announce this whole thing, and there's going to be some kind of basic income, which there will be, whether it's 2,000 or 5,000, nobody knows what the actual, and that's irrelevant. The numbers are the
universal income you're talking about, yeah.
Right, the universal income. What's going to happen is what? People are going to have to go back. You can't say, hey, my name is David Rodriguez. I'm from Mexico. I'm here illegally, and I want my universal basic income. And you're living in the United States, or you're living in Poland, or you're living in Switzerland. They're going to tell you, hey, David Nino Rodriguez, go back to your country of origin, because that's the only place you can collect it. That's why he's as cool as a cucumber, because he knows there's going to be a mass exodus. You don't think this guy knows a lot of stuff that we don't know?
100%. 100%.
We got to be able to read the tea leaves.
Yeah.
He gives you all the breadcrumbs. How many? I got a collage of video that says 17, 17, 17, 17, him saying 17. In 1 minute, I can have a 1 hour video of him saying 17. He's telling me he's with that movement, number one. Okay. He goes to Missouri to an RV company that manufactures recreational vehicles. And he turns around and says to his wife, I think we're going to get an RV and travel around the country, Melania. What do you think? The guy that takes a you-know-what on a toilet seat that's 24 karat gold, solid gold, okay, is going to travel in an RV. No. He's telling you there's a revaluation coming. I'm yelling to the top of the mountain.
Calm. It's a calm.
But it's a breadcrumb. It's a little breadcrumb. Now, what I'm saying is I'm trying to yell and scream to the little people because I want to save the little people. But a lot of them, unfortunately, it's not that they're dumb, bro. They've been dumbed down. There's a difference between
dumbed down.
Dumb. There's a difference between being dumb, and there's a difference between being deliberately dumbed down by all means necessary. Toothpaste, everything you touch. That's
I mean, you look at it now. The toothpaste with fluoride. If you look at it like, and I was a product of that. I was part of the bread and circus, boxing, and I was part of the partying, the alcohol. I mean, I look back on this now and I'm like, wow, man. Of course they're going to push alcohol. Of course you're going to see Budweiser commercials. You're going to see Bud Light commercials. You're going to see Modelo commercials. I mean, this is all part of it. The alcohol, that's just one part of it. The pharmaceuticals are a whole nother game, because every other commercial on television is pharmaceutical stuff. 100%. Oh, and then half the commercial is talking about side effects.
Right.
With pleasant sounding classical music, with people with smiles on their faces. I just, we are in zombie land right now. This is it. I don't think we have to wait for it, bro.
There's no question.
We're there. I think we're there. I mean, how many people do you talk to that just look at you like a deer in headlights? I talk to doctors, okay? Doctors. Some come on my show that are very bright and know what they're talking about, but for the most part, most of them, when you start talking about this, they look at you like, I was just in the hospital with my dad. I go, I think I know why he's having seizures. He got this.
Yes.
And they look at me like I'm an alien. Yes. Like as if I just came from another planet, and they're looking at me like, how could he talk about against the medical industry like this? What gives him that authority? And I guess he's a conspiracy theorist. I'm like, no, you're a fucking idiot. Sorry. That's just the way that I have no respect for you.
This is what we're dealing with.
These are doctors, supposedly people you're supposed to put on a pedestal and say, you know what? I trust you with my life, with my health.
The machines that I own down in Cape Canaveral, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Why
I have
a guy like me? Why a guy like me? I'm an ex-pizza guy. I love making pizzas. I got to the top of my game. I had people standing in line an hour and 20 minutes to get 2 slices of pizza. I built many places, made a lot of money, spent a lot of money, chased every mini skirt, and I'm not bragging about it because I'm ashamed that you shouldn't do
pizza.
Right.
So you were that guy delivering pizza.
Yeah. But the fact is, I've gotten to the top of every game that I got into, right? This particular game, I got to be honest with you, I'm not struggling. I'm paying the bills. I'm paying, right? You would think they'd be knocking my doors. Hey, my mother, her body was able to cure itself in that system. It wasn't the machines. It was the system, okay, that provided an energy that the body recognizes, and it starts to produce billions of healthy cells. And then the body only has one choice: repair mode. Okay. Cancer, emphysema, epilepsy, neuropathy. What doctor do you know, for example, Nino, that can cure emphysema? You know any medical doctors in the traditional medical system that can cure emphysema? Yes or no?
No, but hold on. Can I
No.
just say something here? People don't need to get a machine. Fasting also does this. People need to understand what the power of fasting does.
Absolutely.
Fast for 20 days, fast for 3 days, reset your body. I do intermittent fasting, but I go 20 to 24 hours at a time, and I think that's helping me resetting my body. So I have felt a big difference with that. I'll have black coffee, and I probably shouldn't even do that, but it has to keep me going, otherwise I'll go to sleep.
Sure.
But
Sure.
fasting in itself is miraculous. Your
You
body knows what to do.
Yeah, you have a cube. A cube is about 1/3 the power of what we have.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's
okay.
right here.
What we have is, like, industrial, commercial, if you will. Okay. The same power that exists in our room is the same power. If you were to get abducted right now, Nino, from a mothercraft or one of these round UFOs, whatever you want, IFOs, identified, they've been identified for a long time. Let's stop calling them UFOs, please.
IFOs, I like that. I never heard that.
Identified flying objects. Okay. You would be sitting in the same identical technology that we have down in Cape Canaveral.
Interesting.
Did you know that?
Are you talking about with the cube?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, I have that right here in my office.
Yeah. Then you got extraterrestrial technology sitting right there in your office. Congratulations.
Beam me up. Beam me up.
Yeah, absolutely. Bro, listen, this is just a step to what I believe, and I have the video on my Telegram channel. We circulate these videos. We constantly recycle them. These are the most fascinating videos. These are little short clips. We save all of these. We have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these. One of the video in particular that I'm about to tell you is somebody reading off a military document. And if you listen to what they're reading off the military document, you understand one thing is for certain. And that one thing that is for certain is that med beds are real and they're coming. People say, oh, Mel, you're going to be out of business. I hope somebody puts me out of business. That would be great. Because when the reevaluation gets here, I don't know that I'm going to be so motivated, dude.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you.
Let's switch gears just for a second and talk about clones, because I really want to talk about clones.
Sure.
What do you think clones have a soul?
No, I don't believe that.
Really?
Just my intuition. No, I don't believe clones have a soul. I think these people.
But if they're living
these people have been done away with.
I think they could have a soul. I think they have a soul, but maybe they're just so programmed that, I don't see how they could be alive and not have a soul. You think these are kind of like android type?
I think somebody has a remote control, and the guy that's got the remote control, right? The guy that's got the remote control to the guy that's in the White House right now, without mentioning his name, right, is sending you breadcrumbs. How do they do that? They make him fall off the bicycle. They make him fall off the stairs on the way up to the airplane. That's probably a green screen. They're sending you breadcrumbs. They make him talk like a mumbling idiot because you cannot make the clone more advanced than the original. At least they don't have that technology, because if the guys that were really in charge were the bad guys and they had that technology, don't you think that they would use it? They would make the Biden, this guy here, they would make him so intelligent that everybody would be like, oh yeah, what? He's all of a sudden cured from dementia. This guy got dementia on steroids.
Yeah. Yeah. Even when he fell up the stairs, I was watching that, and I've watched it a few times, and I want people to really watch that. He fell almost athletically. He bounced right back up. Dude, that's not an old guy falling.
That's not an old guy bouncing back up.
That's not an old guy falling, bro. That was a younger guy falling. That's a guy in his 30s falling.
I'm glad you said that, because, again, there's another breadcrumb within a breadcrumb, and you got to be able to read the breadcrumbs. Nino acts like he's stupid. He's not stupid. Trust me. Nino's very, very intelligent.
Host the show.
But let me tell you something. That's how they do it. We got to be able to read the tea leaves. I can't read the tea leaves. Me and Nino can see the same exact thing. Somebody else comes in, sees something completely, totally different. And we can't help those people. When we get to the 80-20 rule, in other words, 80% of the people are awake, I think that's when we go and we say, okay, you guys want We'll get rid of somehow, some way. We're going to get rid of these people.
I think this next event that's coming is it's gonna be a shedding process for the normies, and they're either gonna make it or they're not. And I think it's gonna make 2020 look like a walk in the park. And when this happens, we're gonna lose a lot of people that just could not graduate. Sorry.
Well, I'm going to tell you flat out. One of the things that I do besides hanging out with my system is I love the sauna. I actually went to a 24-hour gym now because I'm so busy. I don't have time. I go to the gym at 10 o'clock. I come home at 1 o'clock in the morning. It's crazy. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to be 61 years old. I'm going to the gym.
How old are you?
I'm going to be 61.
You're 60.
I'm 60. I'm going to be 61 in September.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I thought you're kidding me.
No, I'm not. I know people tell me I look like I'm 35, 38, 40. Yeah, all the time. You won't be the first time. But anyway, I go to sauna and hang out in that sauna. You know why?
Wild.
Because, yeah, if you hang out in the sauna, your chances of getting a heart attack is like 89% less. And I went from a sauna that was 212 degrees to another one that's 220 degrees, and I could only last 17 minutes. Now I'm doing double sessions. I'm doing 17, and then I'm doing 12. 17 minutes, I take a cold shower, I come back in, do 12. Your chances you getting a common cold by using the sauna is almost next to nil. Next to nil. Okay? Sweating all those toxins out at like record speed. You know what it's like to be in 200?
I use the sauna all the time.
Yeah. 220 degrees, that's that. Let me tell you something. I've seen muscle bound dudes thinking they're tough guys. They come in there.
I think the hottest I've gone in is about 200 to 180 to 200. I sat in there and I used to jump rope in those things to lose weight for boxing. I used to shadow box for like 40 minutes and cut weight. I mean, I used to, trust me, I know about saunas. I have horror stories about saunas.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell us some of your horror stories. I like to hear the bad stuff.
Dude, I fainted in one and I was in there for someone found me.
You're an extremist.
I was out cold, dog. I was in there too long and I fainted. I don't even remember anything.
Holy
I just
shit.
remember waking up next to the pool and people were like, "You all right, man?" And they were giving me water and I was like, "What the hell just happened?" And they were like, "We found you in the sauna." They were closing out, they were shutting down the place at the YMCA, dude. And I was laying on I guess I fell on the floor.
My wife doesn't know this. So if she sees the video, she's gonna say, you're overdoing it. So almost one day I caught myself like I was ready to fall, like fainting. You just said, but I didn't faint.
I just don't remember it.
And I just walked out. I said that day I'm overdoing it, baby. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even have that sign. I just don't even remember going in there.
Yeah. But we see these muscle bound dudes that think they're real tough. They just, but they've never been in a sauna before. They're not acclimated. They're not. It's like going to the gym. You have to get acclimated to it. Right. They come in 220 degrees and they're running out like little bitches in 7-8 minutes.
Yeah.
And the pizza man is in there for 17 minutes.
I just hope you're not that pizza guy in there shaving your balls and shit. There's always that guy in there. There's always that guy that just doesn't care and he's naked and he's sitting Indian style in front of you and you're just like, dude, I gotta get out of here. That's what makes me exit early, all right?
Yeah. Not the heat, huh?
Not the heat. I can't have that view. I gotta go. It's just these.
Brother, when am I gonna get to meet you? All bullshit aside.
You'll meet me soon, man. You're in Florida, or where are you at?
Yeah, Cape Canaveral.
Cape Canaveral. Well,
your buddy's going to come down to visit. Your buddy's coming down to visit me.
Which buddy? I don't know.
107.
Oh yeah. He's going to be there for the conference.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Japan.
I
might make it. Let's talk.
I would love to see Nino Rodriguez. How many of you guys, write in the comments below, how many of you guys would love to see Nino Rodriguez on stage, live streamed all over the world in Cape Canaveral with the guys that normally shows his boots?
It's a possibility. When is it?
June 8th, June 9th.
It's a possibility. We'll talk more about it. I might. Yeah,
I would love to, brother. That would be the ultimate. And then I'm gonna probably have to twist your arm and tell you to come down a little early because I want to hang out with you. Seriously,
you gotta make me a pizza.
I'll make you pizza. I swear. You know what?
I gotta watch you in action. Mel, where can people find you, my man?
They could find us at QFS1776.com. They can find us at stayingalive.com, alive with 2 eyes. That's, by the way, the easiest way to contact me. And if you're a podcaster, like Nino's a big podcaster. I'm pitching him at the same time, actually. I'm going to kill 2 birds with one stone.
Stayingalive.com?
Right? Staying Alive, alive with 2 eyes.
Okay.
Right? The Bee Gees wouldn't, even though 2 of them are dead, they wouldn't let me have the one with 1 eye. Imagine. So, but anyway, needless to say, if you're a big podcaster like Nino Rodriguez and you want to have an event at our place, go to stayingalive.com, scroll down to the bottom. There's a telephone number there. Okay. If I rip the video, my wife will probably put the number down here on the bottom of the screen. Call my staff. They know how to get in touch with me faster than anybody. And we'll talk about how you can come down. We got two rooms. We got one upstairs and we have an access to another room downstairs, which is huge. We could fit like 600 people. And we'll talk to you about how to do an event where because this business, I'm going to tell you right now, Nino, and I think you'll agree with me, this business of podcasting, the most important thing you'll ever do. And I know you're a big name, you've got hundreds of thousands of people following you, and God bless you, brother. But the reality is, it's all about public relations. Your fans want to kiss you and touch your cheeks and kiss your forehead and all that stuff. They want to meet you in
I don't
person.
like people. No, stay away from them.
I'm serious.
You know what
I'm
it
serious.
is with me is that I've been around it so much in boxing. I filled arenas. I got such a massive dose of that stimulation and the glory, and I'm tired of it.
Yeah, I understand. But bro, we're in a war. You're a general in this war. I can't believe you're talking like that.
Well,
hey,
no,
listen,
I'm tired.
You can't give up.
The racehorse is tired.
I know. Hey, bro, I get tired too.
That was 20 years of abuse in boxing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brother, I get tired too. By the way, I'm about to potentially interview a real life gangster. I got a real life gangster that lives right around the corner. Doesn't live. He's got a gym not even 3 miles, 2.8 miles from my house here in Merritt Island. My wife said to me one day, hey, you should think about joining the gym next door. So one day, my curiosity, I went in, and there's this guy there by the name of Larry Lanza. So I said, what do you do? We start talking, right? I said, I'm a podcaster. So you're a podcaster, huh? He goes, let's do a podcast. I figured this guy's been on podcasts before. Sure, my curiosity got the best of me. As soon as I get home, I punch in Larry Lanza. Larry Lanza was on Patrick, the guy Valuetainment, the Iranian guy.
Yeah.
You know him?
Yeah.
That video's got 1.2 million views.
Wow.
Right? And he's right around the corner. So I might want to, I might want to go do a podcast with this guy. I'm going to title it, while we wait for XRP, we might as well interview a real gangster. This guy killed 50 people.
How's he not in jail?
He already came out of jail.
And he's open about talking to kill 50 people. I would be careful with that
people,
one.
Yeah.
How old is he? An older dude?
He's about my age.
Fuck, I can't believe you're 61, dude.
Yeah, he's about my age. Yeah. So I'm going to do an interview with him while we wait for the XRP. We might as well entertain the crowds. And I'm going to tap into the audience of the people who...
Give me his contact. I want to interview him too.
You want him?
Yeah, if he's an OG.
He's the real deal. He's with the Colombo crime family. Okay. He's been on many, many, many interviews. And I could get you to him. Because I'm going to get to it. He's right around the corner.
I'm interested.
Big name. I mean, he's this guy. What a story. You might want to, when you stop with this sometime tonight, maybe you might want to go to that interview.
Send me his link.
I will. I'll do that. Absolutely fascinating story.
All right, Mel. Thank you for coming on, my man.
Thank you for inviting me. I'm so delighted.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll have you on again. And inside the Matrix,
right?
folks.
On the 17th?
It's a possibility. Let's talk more about it. It's a big possibility.
It's my favorite number.
Yeah, that's a good number to pick. All right, Mel. Take it
Brother,
easy, my
thank
man.
you. Hello, folks. My name is Mel Carmine, and we are right in the middle of a tectonic shift, the biggest wealth transfer that is going to hit this entire planet like a tsunami on steroids. This will never happen again, at least not in our lifetime. Many of you still have the opportunity to get in right now. Joining our Telegram group is perhaps the smartest thing you'll ever do, and it won't cost you a single dime. We have tens of thousands of patriots waiting for you, and they'll take you by the hand to teach you the ropes so that you don't get slaughtered. Not the global reset. This is not the global reset, but rather the quantum financial system reset, the one that's attached to Nasara Jasara. It's coming at us at 800 miles an hour. The question is, are you ready? Are you in position to receive wealth beyond your wildest dreams? There are 6 to 8 tokens that are going to completely and entirely dominate this landscape. And no,
It's not Bitcoin or Ethereum. Join our Telegram group today, and don't forget to visit the Quantum Financial Systems Manual at QFS1776.com